Right, croeso, prynawn da. Welcome to the Planning and Regulatory and Licensing meeting at 5 o'clock Wednesday, 15th of January 2025. Please note that today's meeting may be recorded. This recording will be broadcast on the authority's website and may be used for training purposes by the Democratic Services Department. All attendees will be in view of the camera, and by attending you are consenting to being filmed and to the possible use of these images and sound recordings being used as outlined above. Agenda item 1, apologies for absence. Thank you.
Is he not online? Oh, is it? Oh, I was looking for it. He's online.
Agenda item 2, declarations of interest. Members are reminded of their personal, prejudicial to declare any matters, personal and prejudicial interest in respect of matters obtained in this agenda in accordance with the provision of the Local Government and Finance Act 1992 relating to the Council Tax, the Local Government Act 2000, the Council's Constitution and Members' Code of Conduct. Are there any declarations of interest? No? Members are reminded that they must identify the number of the subject matter they would be in have if they were any declarations of interest, and they would also have to withdraw from the meeting should there have been any matters of interest. Council planning recommendations of the Town and Country Planning Act 1990 and the Planning Compensation Act 1991. Agenda item 3 P24/0201 to Llewellyn Street, Merthyr Tydfil, CF078 SR to consider a report of the Chief Executive and
Thank you, Chair. So the application before you may recall was for the change of use of an existing residential property from a 2-bedroom dwelling to a house of multiple occupation with 4 bedrooms. The property itself would largely remain the same. There was mostly minor internal works and some works to the rear of the property. The application was presented to the Planning Committee on the 13th of November. At the time, it was resolved not to accept the officer recommendation to conditionally approve the planning application, and instead members resolved to consider the application with 2 reasons for refusal relating to highway and safety grounds and character of the area. The first reason for refusal that was set out in the report is that the development would give rise to an increase in the level of on-street parking and congestion to the detriment of highway safety, and would therefore be contrary to policy SW11 of the local development plan. The other reason for refusal was the nature of the residential use would be at odds with the existing housing in the area to the detriment of the character of the area, and is therefore contrary to policy SW11 of the local development plan. So it's therefore for you guys now to consider whether you're happy with those 2 reasons for refusal and that is what you wish to push forward with, or if you're not happy with that, then you've got the option to reconsider the original recommendation. Thank you.
What we have to be sure of is we need to be, when you do go to the vote, is that you're actually sure what you're voting on. So if you're looking to refuse for those 2 reasons, I need someone to sort of move the recommendation, someone to second it, and then for you all to vote on it. So we just need to be very careful that we are sure that you're voting on that and not to approve it. Okay, so basically if someone wants to move that the application be refused for those 2 reasons, we can proceed and vote on that. Councillor Jones.
We've in November we discussed the specific reasons after that planning committee voted for refusal. I just wonder, in the second one, which I'll read part of, it says the nature of the residential use would be at odds with the existing housing in the area to the detriment of the character of the area, which obviously I agree with. I just wonder whether we should put the nature of the residential use in brackets, house of multiple occupation, HMO, so because we would specify that, is that something that we can include in there?
Jones, but again, you would need to move that the recommendation needs to be amended to include those words.
Yes, yes. And I know what we mean when we use the word at odds. And I should have perhaps looked this up and Googled it, because you can get half a dozen versions of what you mean, but I just wondered whether the word at odds could be replaced with something that, you know, we can really understand. Yes.
And any suggestion as to what word you would like to replace those two words with?
Is anybody very good at the English language? Yeah?
On the spot.
Oh God! I'm sure that there is a different word. Right. Yes.
I think we just
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we had questions. And comments.
One is not in keeping. Or the other word could be conflicts with the existing housing.
Clive, just to get it right, because Geraint give a statement, right? I'll just say this is under questions now, all right?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
I should have said that at the start.
Yes,
There
I think
was a
what we're
question.
trying to do, following Councillor Jones's question, is to make sure that the wording of recommendation 2 is the reason that you're actually refusing it for. And at the moment, you're not happy with the words at odds, so you're trying to find another word or words to replace that.
Yes. I mean, I think this was in another one sometime last year. I think we used it, would be not in keeping with the existing housing in the area, but I'm sure there is another word that we can use for that, or in conflict with the existing housing.
I mean, you could take the words be at odds, so it just reads the nature of the residential use in brackets HMO would conflict with the existing housing in the area.
Yeah, just for the benefit of the committee there, would you be happy with the word and then to say the nature of the residential use, brackets, house of multiple occupation, would conflict with the existing housing in the area, and then carry on with the rest of the existing wording?
Yeah.
Inconsistent and compatible, conflict.
We've got a few. Yeah.
Key thing to remember is obviously if it does go to an appeal or anything like that, is that you're sure what you're trying to present
Yeah, well,
at the time.
that's why I wanted to bring it up at this stage. I should have said that, you know, as a question, that we perhaps need to look at the wording, which is what we do it. Contradicts or conflicts the existing housing.
Existing housing.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
Which is what Craig said.
I think, you know, we could spend some time on it, Chair, because there are different words there. It's another one is contradicts. We had it there.
Yeah, let's go.
There we are. Well, another word we could use is contradicts or conflicts. Right.
I think this is the problem with synonyms, isn't it? They come up with synonyms for the whole of the English language.
You're a lawyer, Geraint. Your profession is dealing with the right wording.
I think possibly the best word would be conflict.
I'm quite happy with that. I can see members nodding it. Yeah.
So we'll go with the nature of the residential use, in brackets, house of multiple occupation, conflicts with the existing housing, and the rest of the recommendation would continue as written before you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, as a board member there, I think that sums up why the reasons why that second one.
Okay, so just to be perfectly clear then, you're happy with recommendation 1 for refusal?
Yes.
And in relation to recommendation 2, subject to those words being amended, you're happy with that? So if you are minded as a committee to refuse it, someone needs to move it, second it, and then vote. So if you want to...
Yeah. Have we got any comments before we go on to anything else? Yeah.
Well, I don't want to go through everything that we dealt with at the November meeting, because you know, as we saw in the report in November, we were at least 39 residents around there who objected to this application, and it sums up on page 5, going into 6, basically what were a summary of those objections. And I can't let this meeting go in past to impress that this organisation has, I presume they've bought the building, I don't really know, but they're converting, Chair, a 2-bedroom property into a 4-bedroom house of multiple occupation. And one of those is the bathroom. And I double-checked with Environmental Health Department staff as to what the minimum size was for a bedroom, and it's 7.5 meters square. And this bathroom is just whatever it is, 0.01 above that. So it's extremely small for a bedroom. I presume they can get a single bed in there and just about get out of the bed to go through the bedroom door. So for everything that's been said in the committee in November, and for the reasons that we've got there, I would move that we refuse this application, Chair.
Have we got seconder on that?
To clarify, obviously you queried whether we were happy with reason 1. Just want to reiterate that we want to add HMO in between,
Yes,
just after the development. Okay, cool. Just to confirm.
Yeah. Sorry, so we'll go back.
Chair.
Okay. All right. So we can take.
They have, because it's been moved, it's been seconded. Just need to vote on it, take it to the vote.
Yeah.
For refusal. So if you
So
vote yes.
apologies, Declan, I didn't see. Can you just again tell them what's happening, because
The recommendation before you is to refuse it for the 2 reasons in the report, subject to the revision of recommendation 2 with the addition of the 3 words and the removal of a couple of words. If you vote yes, you are voted to refuse it. If you're voting no, you're voting not to refuse the application. So if we take that to the vote first,
okay.
let's see what happens. Voted, that's been refused. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. So that's been refused. Right. Was anything to see? No.
It's the
Yeah.
next item.
Okay. Thank you. So the agenda item number 4 is an information report. Agenda item number 5 is for an information report. And agenda item 6 is a information report. So I have, I'm sorry, It's my computer's playing up, that's why it's all mismatched at the moment. I am sorry. And so that's the end of the meeting, isn't it? Sorry, as I say, I can't call it up on my computer. Is there any other business? I have none. So that's the end of the meeting. Thank you very much for coming.
Yes, yeah.